This week's scenario is the Pit from the Steamroller 2016 packet. This scenario does have the Killbox Artifice in effect and consists of a 12-inch zone, which can be controlled for 1 CP or dominated for 2 CPs. The friendly flag can be dominated for 1 CP, and the enemy flag can be controlled for 1 CP or dominated for 2 CPs. Victory conditions consist of 5 control points or caster assassination.
Hello everyone, this is Gaston, and today we are playing the brand new theme force for Retribution, Shadows of the Retribution. I ended up going with Vyros for the first time out, primarily because that's unfortunately what I had painted as far as the units go. This is also a chance to finally get Helios onto the channel, so very excited about that, and I'm actually really excited about this theme force as well. My opinion on it has really changed since I've actually gotten to play it.
Alright, Pokey here, and I decided to pull out Tyrant Xerxis with a couple good friends of his, like Tiberion, Mammoth, Gladiator, just some happy fun stuff. And of course an Agonizer, Beast Handlers, and the Legends of Halaak, just to see how this list would work out with a Mammoth.
One of the benefits of the theme force is that you get the +1 to your starting roll. And I love to go first. That's always been a big thing for me, so having that advantage really helps me out a lot, I think. The other thing I really like, particularly with Vyros, is how aggressive this theme force is. So that's my initial deployment.
Alright, this list was kind of designed with the central scenario in mind. So kind of everything is center or towards my flag, so that way I can kind of come up, hopefully hold my flag, and then everything else can kind of swoop into the zone. So all the support pieces are hopefully close enough that they're going to be able to help help they need the help with, and the heavy hitters are going to be where they need to be. It's kind of a, I guess, go for my flag and then my zone, or the zone.
And then thanks to the power of Eiryss 3, I get to advance deploy my Mage Hunter Infiltrators, as well as my 2 Mage Hunter Assassins, and my free Narn. So this list is already starting. You get to go first, you get to take a huge amount of real estate up. All your jacks are going to be faster, all of your stuff has Pathfinder. So there's a lot of flexibility here and a lot of aggression, and I really like having that aggression in this list. I am putting the solos on that other side so he can threaten his flag. So getting to go first gives me a lot of advantages, like I was saying. But there are a couple of things on his side of the table I need to be very concerned about. I don't want to have that Mammoth just kind of raining down blast damage. One of the things that's very a significant weakness of this list is that you are weak to Electro Leaps, you're weak to blast damage, even though you have all this stealth infantry. So I'm looking to spread out as much as possible, but at the same time I have access to a nifty spell, Hallowed Avenger. And what that does is when one of my guys dies, the Jack gets to make a 3-inch move at the start of my turn. So what I'm doing here, thanks to the power of pre-measuring and being able to mark things on the table, is I figured out where I'm going to have Imperatus run, and now I'm parking a bunch of models within 5 inches of that particular token. It's directly behind the wall there. And this lets me maximize my ability to spread out, so that I'll keep some guys alive for my feat turn, which is nominally why they're there, but also it maximizes my ability to trigger that Hallowed Avenger move to get Imperatus' extra movement. He can move out of the way of Helios, he can threat further. There's a lot of different things you can do. I love to have out of activation movement because of all the different opportunities you have. So what Vyros is going to do is he's going to go ahead, he's going to cast up mobility, and then he's going to go ahead, he's going to put Hallowed Avenger onto Imperatus, and then he's just going to advance up his own 8 inches, making sure we keep that Sphinx well within my control area. So, you don't want to walk out and have him miss out on mobility as well. It's very important. I'm not particularly concerned about putting up Evolvable Resolve this turn, because it's turn 1. Imperatus is going to be behind the wall, so he's going to be very hard to hit at defense 17. Helios is going to be very hard to hit just in general, because I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to power him up, and then he's going to be able to do the +2 defense against shooting himself. So I'm taking the risk there because I can't get all of my upkeeps out. One of the things that's kind of nice about the other theme force, the Forges of War, I believe it's called, is that you start with all your all of your spells up. So we're just running everything up. As you can see, it's just taken just a huge amount of real estate here on turn 1. It's awesome. It's a great feeling. So it's one of the things I really like about the Steam Force. And one of the things I really like about P. Vyros is just how fast up the board he is. And then I feel like this list is relatively strong against shooting once you spread out. And we should be good to go.
Alright, Ret. Huh. Wow, they're pretty fast. You ever get a feeling that you're driving a Yugo at a NASCAR race? That's kind of what it seems like to me, because, wow, they got the field pretty quick. It's actually really scary how fast they got up the table. So we'll start something simple. Start off by putting Rush up on Tiberion, and then the Gladiator tried to slam, quote unquote, one of those assassin people. Actually, no, I'm sorry. He put up Rush up on the Mammoth. Xerxis will later on put it up on Tiberion. So now I'm just kind of going through and trying to measure out who's going to be in range for. I think I get like 2 shots. I think I roll really bad for the number of shots I get. And it completely just doesn't do anything. But Ret is a very scary faction. It's very fast, and they have this list, has a lot of tricks up their sleeve. A lot of stuff that kind of negated what my list had in it. Some stuff that I didn't even know it was possible for it to have. It was not a fun time trying to figure out what finding out about their abilities as it was happening to me. Like those guys up in the front there having stealth, that kind of sucked. Then Imperatus, found out about him a little earlier on, and he's just no fun. I don't know why anybody want to take him. Oh, that's right, because they want to win. That's a good enough reason, I guess. So the Mammoth did his thing. He did his shots, his 2 shots, and then, which kind of harmlessly didn't do much, or actually anything at all. Then he put up Counter Blast, and this is once again where, I'm learning about Ret. So what I learned is that Eiryss 3, who is down on the red cape behind the building, has the ability to go, boom, I shoot you, it's gone. So that's pretty much probably the last time you're going to see Counterblast be put up. But now Xerxis is activated. He put up Tactical Supremacy on himself, and then he put up March on the... He ordered March on the Legends, so they would have the +2 speed. Because I figured that'd be the only way they're going to get across the table to get to the to get hopefully locked into combat to keep those ninja people from beating me in the face. And then everything else, kind of all the rest of the magic, is up behind the Mammoth. So can't really see too much of it, but the Agonizer advanced forward, did its gnawing pain. The Beast Handlers moved up, did their little voodoo to condition, and then the Legends, they activate. I actually, given the press forward order, 2 of them are actually in range for charging. The leader, he's in charge range because he has a 1-inch melee, and then the other one, he has 2-inch, but he had somebody close enough. And the third one, Miss Maracas, the Maracas person, basically had to run. Because I just needed them to be engaged. I'm just trying to engage them. I'm hoping that with swings I can, because they have sidestep naturally, so I'm hoping that I can kill off a model, move further into their line, and be able to to hopefully kind of push him back a little bit. Unfortunately, I missed the first swing with him. The second swing I was able to hit, kill, sidestep forward, but I didn't get far enough forward to lock that one guy next to Imperatus, and then that was the end of my turn.
So Pokey was very accommodating and willing to trigger Hallowed Avenger onto Imperatus. So he's going to go ahead, he's going to take his 3-inch Vengeance move, and he's going to go ahead and swing on that Legend of Halaak there, who's blocking up my, what are they called, Infiltrators. So the other thing is, I'm doing a little bit of math. I can get Imperatus to the Mammoth, and I can get him flanked, so I'm thinking about feeding this turn. The catch to it is when I math it out, it's not so good for Imperatus actually killing the Mammoth just on his own. So I'm kind of backing away from that plan in my mind, and we're seeing how this goes here. Imperatus, I believe, hits, or I think he just straight up misses. So much for that Mat 7. Oh well. So now we're definitely reconsidering going and not using the feat this turn. So what I'm looking at doing instead is, going to be very intriguing, is going to be pulling the Gladiator up and killing it with the Sphinx using Helios. And what makes that intriguing is that by killing it, I'm removing Rush from his repertoire of abilities. And so my army with mobility kind of already outthreats him. Once you take Rush away, I really outthreat him. And so it's a really interesting tactical play, and it's a little bit risky, because if it doesn't go off, then I'm going to be in threat range of everything, and he's going to get a nice alpha strike on my heavies. If I am able to pull it off, then obviously that's a huge tactical advantage for me. I do have some order of activation issues going on. I've got a couple of the Infiltrators in front of Helios, and then I've got this really annoying Legend of Halaak in my way, so he's blocking up Imperatus. So I'm just kind of working through the order of activations. You want to have the concentrated power going on the Sphinx. There's only one of the mechanics who can really get there. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to allocate him the focus that he wants to. And we're going to have the two, they're going to go ahead and they're going to power up Helios, which more or less leaves Imperatus without anything to do, which is a little bit unfortunate. And then we're going to figure out what we need to do with the Infiltrators. The other thing that I'm looking at doing is just having Vyros move on up and tow the flag, so I can get some scenario pressure on as well. So just going ahead, counting out my focus. Up the top hand, I had actually parked Narn behind the building just to discourage the Mammoth from shooting at him. So now what we've got doing is the Infiltrators are just walking, they're not charging. And there's a reason why they're going in this order, and that's because Eiryss has quick work. And so what I'm going to want her to do is kill that guy and go ahead and shoot the Mammoth. And if she doesn't kill that guy, or someone else kills him beforehand, she can just shoot the Mammoth anyway. So that's going to allow me to knock the Fury off of it, as well as knock Counterblast off of it. Now he has Tiberion over there who can shield guard, so I'm playing a little mind game where I'm going to pop him, see if Tiberion shield guards it, and then that'll free up shield guard away from the Gladiator, who's my actual target, and then I can yank him on in. The other thing is that she grants the reposition 3, and that will allow them to move out of the way of all the other models at the end of their activation. So they go ahead, they start swinging on the fists. Because they have gang, they're very accurate, they're Mat 8. I've got one guy in the back, and the other ones are able to just start killing him off otherwise. So my plan goes as expected. Eiryss shoots, it gets shield guarded, so everything worked out very well there. So the Infiltrators are very easily able to make short work of the legends, so not so legendary after all. So, and then, I mean, the entire unit with Eiryss is 20 points after you add in the Soulless. That's how I got the free Narn. So it's not quite making up their points, but they're well on their way, and certainly not displeased with them at all. So now that I've managed to unjam myself, and then now I'm just checking to see if Helios can indeed get within the 12 inches. So we're just kind of marking where he's at, and then we're going to pick him up and use a little proxy base to see if he can squeeze his little butt in there. and so it turns out that he can't. Which means that my Imperatus is just going to walk on backwards, and he's going to check his Hell Avenger distance, and hang out. So that's a whole Imperatus activation right there. Obviously I was trying to keep Imperatus kind of as a plan B, so he can use his gun, so he can, threaten things himself. So now we're really going all in on this. So it's going to be very interesting. So with Imperatus out of the way, Helios is able to move up. He's able to get within range of his gun on the Gladiator, and he's going to start boosting shots. And boost, 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 and scoot, and scoot, and scoot. And he just pulls this sucker straight across the battlefield. Now the question is, does he use the third shot to pull him, because you're kind of worried about, blocking off the location of the Sphinx at that point. So I end up passing on the third shot, and instead putting up the +2 defense against shooting again. So now go ahead, concentrate power on the Sphinx, and the Sphinx is just going to walk on in. There's some question of where to put him. Do I put him at reach, or do I put him, within the 1 inch? And so I'm kind of seeing, what's Tiberion's threat range, things like that. But ultimately, I think it's better for me to keep him further back, so that way Tiberion or the Mammoth have to commit further in to my army. So the Sphinx goes in, he just starts swinging, and he's having a glorious old day, and the worst thing possible happens, which is he leaves the sucker on 1 health. And we've all been there, and you're just kind of like, come on, dice gods, come on. But the good news is that I still have 3 solos up there, and my solos are very scary. So we got the first Mage Hunter Assassin. She's going to charge on in, get her 3 inches. She's going for the back arc, so she's able to hit, and she does no damage. I'm like, alright, well, Mage Hunter Assassin number 2 is going to go in. She's going to swing, she's going to hit, she's going to roll no damage. So at this point, this is kind of why Soulless calls them fail bitches. Because you're kind of like, So now I have my free Narn. And Narn is going to be, he's going to be my badass. He's going to shoot this guy in the butt, and then he's going to hard roll an 11 on 2 dice, and actually do 2 damage to finish off the Gladiator. In the most ridiculous thing ever. So that's my free solo. He's awesome, and now I love him. Otherwise, Vyros is just going to move up, he's going to tow on the flag, and we'll be good to go.
Mistake counter number 1 was to actually put the Gladiator so far forward. In this list, the Gladiator is more of a support beast, second wave, because with him having rush, it's really nice because he gets to, like I said, he's the second wave, he gets to throw out rush where I need it, allowing the Mammoth and Tiberion the ability to do the things they need to do. So losing it on top of 2, it hurts. But, it's, I didn't know that he had the ability to pull my models out with the gun from his Colossal. It was just kind of one of those, oops, I learned something new. So now I gotta kind of work with lots, I was a slow Yugo before, now I'm like a little Trebi trying to get up the table, and he's still driving his NASCAR. So now I'm measuring out, trying to figure things out, and one of the things that you're going to find out here real quick, because I kind of take a long time to plan this whole thing out. And the whole plan was for me to use Xerxes' ability for him able to cast. He has the spell that allows him to cast, that allows one of his beasts to move, for X amount of inches. So my plan was to cast that, to go up, clear out as much as I could, cast that spell on the Mammoth, and then get the Mammoth into the hole where whatever his Colossal is. But I kind of messed that up a little bit because I knew Tiberion being enraged, charging for free because of the beast handlers, should have been able to take out whatever that little jack is that's in the front. And because of the bond with Xerxis, he would have gotten overtake, which would allowed him to move out of the way. Shouldn't have been an issue. So now it's a matter of getting the beast handlers to where they need to be, doing the enrages, making sure they're base to base for the prodding. The whole turn is really planned out. It really is. So, as you can tell, I'm, saying I need to be over this way. I want to be within just 1 inch of the model and still within my 7, because if I can kill it, I get my overtake move. So that's the hope there. I'm going to, my 3 base and whatever else I have to buy to kill off his jack. So you'll see in a second, boom, not a problem. Gonna be able to take care of that. Because pretty decent POWs on all 3 of his weapons with them being enraged. With him being enraged anyways, is really nice. So it just matter of swings. And like I said, his list is really fast. So that kind of spooked me a little bit for how fast it actually was. And its ability to just, it's a very well thought out list he has. My list, probably not the best draw for against what he has. But it does what it needs to do. It can drop his heavies. It can weather his little light guys that are down there because, well, they're just little guys. So why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't it? Like what, POW 9 or something like that, POW 10, POW something really small. So I was going to make my 1 inch move. Now that I've killed off his jack, I was going to do the 1 inch move to do the over towards the little ninja assassin person, but I ended up buying a Tetsubo, and then I had a crit smite. So I critted that one into the other one, which killed them both off, and then I overtook backwards towards the ninja person, bought an attack, failed to kill him. Kind of sucked. And now the Krea activates, the Krea advances in there trying to lock those people down. Basically, she just ran into engage. And this is where Gaston tells me that I've made my mistake. Because that's, I'm like, okay, I'm moving sideways, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm like, well, I can get to, I shoot, I move the wall a little bit, unfortunately. And I get to be within 2 inches. But this is where he comes back with, well, you've only got X amount of inches, and that's longer than what you have. And so I'm like, well, no, because I have this spell that says I can do this wonky move thing. And he looks it up, and he's like, no, you can't do that with a Colossal or a Gargantuan, because they're huge base models, and that's something that can't happen. So I have to change my plans, which pretty much means that now I'm, trying to move things around in such a way that I won't get his Colossal onto either my Gargantuan or Tiberion for the turn. And because I have to change my direction I was going to go, it charged in on a little ninja dude. And I don't even think I hit the dude. I think I ended up like going through all my fury just to wipe out the 1 or 2 guys. And of course, because I'm so close, it makes, and I kill them all, it makes Helios very unhappy. So now I'm on to Xerxis. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him the march order so he gets the extra speed boost. And then he's going to charge in to the little ninja people. And then I'm hoping that he can kill it off and then do his overtake over to the other one. Hopefully kill off that one. I know I won't be able to get to Narn. But as long as I can, hopefully kill off those two, because they have the decap, which is anything over my armor. It says boom, I'm just going to die a horrible death, because it's all doubled armor, doubled damage, anything over armor. So I end up killing off both of them, and I have an overtake I can do, but I don't have enough distance to get to Narn, because I have 2-inch reach, plus I have the 2-inch reach, plus I have the 1-inch move, but I can't do the 1-inch move until I can't make the 1-inch move and then cast the spell to allow me to move the extra inch that I need to move, because I'll be standing on the flag once I make that move. So instead, I'm just going to back up over to Tibi. Just like that. And my plan was in the beginning to actually pop my feet, but with me not being able to advance the Mammoth how I wanted to advance him, I kind of got a little twisted there. So let's see how the turn goes.
So he's moved Xerxis right on up there, and I am smelling an assassination run and a feat turn. So the question is, how would I like to do this? He's got an Agonizer there, which I really do not like. He's got 2 transfers, which I also am not a fan of. So we end up with Imperatus sneaking over a little bit so that he can get around the Mammoth, and he's going to go ahead and try to go on in and kill the Agonizer with 1 swing. And we've already mathed out that I don't believe that Imperatus can kill the Mammoth in 1 go, even on feat turn. I do feel that generally Helios can do it. However, doing that will basically block off my ability to get to Xerxis, my ability to get to Tiberion. So what I'm going to ultimately end up doing is having the Infiltrators charge on in, get the flank bonus, do, whatever damage they can do to the Mammoth. Probably not a lot. Imperatus will go in, kill the Agonizer, and then work on the Mammoth, and then just weaken him up to the point where possibly with transfers I kill it, is my hope. Then otherwise, even though he killed off the 2 Mage Hunter Assassins, 1, they deserved it, because they were terrible people, and 2, I still have my free Narn up there, and he's going to be able to come in, he's going to be able to trigger flank onto Xerxis. So that's my plan, and we're just going to kind of cross fingers. Otherwise, I'm doing, I think I have very good scenario presence, and I could probably just attrition him down at this point. Maybe send in Imperatus to try to kill off Tiberion, and then send in the Hyperion to try to kill off the Mammoth. But again, we got to take care of that little Agonizer, and it'll be taking care of him either. I guess Eiryss could try to shoot him. I'd have to roll pretty hot in order for her to actually do the damage necessary to kill him, though. So I think this is the stronger plan. So I'm just going through all these different iterations in my mind here with all the different proxy bases. I'm looking at scooting to the side and trying to shoot Xerxis back around to where Imperatus can charge him instead of using Helios. It gets a little bit awkward with Helios' base size. But you can see the beauty of having all these widgets at your disposal. It's really nice for planning purposes. So, with my plan in mind, go ahead and run charge. Eiryss will go ahead, charge in. Like I said, I'm trying to get as much damage onto the stinking Mammoth as I can, which is probably not going to be a lot with these guys. But, I mean, POW 11 will drop down to a 9, I guess, because of the Agonizer. So, they do a little bit. They scratch the paint. What's important is now the Mammoth is engaged, and the Agonizer is engaged, so I'm going to get my flank bonus. And that's what I'm really here to care about. So just rolling the dice there. Then the next step in this will be Vyros checking his control area, making sure that when I put the models where they go, that they will be within his control range in order to benefit from his feat, which would be pretty ugly otherwise. And then just laying down a proxy base for Imperatus, making sure that that's a clean charge, which it will be. So Vyros is going, he's going to put up mobility so Imperatus can get over the wall, and then we're going to go ahead and concentrate power on Imperatus, and he's going to charge on in. So at mat, I believe 9, he will very successfully smack the baby, and at a pound 19 Weapon Master, he will obliterate it in one shot. Next up, he's going to go ahead and sidestep around to the front of the Mammoth just to make sure I'm out of Helios' way. He's going to swing on the Mammoth, and he's going to do a little bit of damage there. Sidestep again just to make sure I'm out of Helios' way. Then we'll put the model where its final resting place. And then just buy the rest of the attacks. When it's all said and done, I believe the Mammoth is left on about 16 health. Sounds about right from memory. So it's reasonable given I spent my charge attack killing the Agonizer. But the Agonizer definitely have to go. So now we're power boosting up the Helios, and then we're going to concentrate power the Helios. The final piece of the puzzle is Narn is going to go ahead and he's going to charge on into Xerxis in order to engage that flank. So just making sure that Helios can make it, and we're going to knock over Eiryss for fun. So Narn will charge in. He does okay. He doesn't do fantastic on his dice rolls, but I think he does like 6 or 7 damage total. I think he does like 5 on his first strike and then 1 or 2 on his second. So not enough to get through the transfers. But again, we're triggering the feat, so now we have Helios going there. Bird's Eye lets him ignore intervening models for line of sight, which is very nice. So the first fist will hit, he will transfer that off to the Krea. The second fist will hit, and he's going to transfer that off to the Mammoth. That'll take care of his 2 transfers. That'll actually leave the Krea on 1, amusingly. So one of the things that I could have done here differently, that's kind of a learning experience for me, I'm still relatively new with Helios, is before I started doing my charge attacks, that's the Mammoth dying to transfers, I could have actually shot the Krea and pushed it, out of his control area. So the Helios is able to drop Xerxis, and it's a victory for Retribution. Thank you for watching.
Alright, afterthoughts. I guess the biggest afterthought is that I probably brought the wrong list. I probably overplayed the Gladiator. There's any number of things that could potentially be a reason for the game turning out the way it did. But I would like to say that it was still a good game. I still had fun playing it. Gaston played a great game. We always it's one of those things where we always play great games against each other because we're always kind of trying to help each other become better players. We may not bring the best list against each other, but we'll definitely try to help each other out. When it comes to how the list, how to play against each other. Because we're both trying to win, but we both want to win, in a good sport manner, And Retribution is a pain in the butt to play against. I'm pretty sure we'll face up against them quite a bit more. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed watching.